4. Team 12 with the last loss. What do they choose? First pick. HeroesHearth Esports is going to go ahead and select Tomb of the Spider Queen. Tomb of the Spider Queen is one of the best maps for HeroesHearth Esports. And when I was talking at the beginning of this series, I raised the idea that I feel like Gale Force Esports and HeroesHearth have some pretty common similarities in at least overall playstyle and preferences on how to approach the game. One of those is Tomb of the Spider Queen, which in fact was Game 3 between Team 12 and Gale Force Esports, the one that started the massive snowball.
It was one of the biggest snowballs that you could have seen. I mean, something happened in that game, and there's no other way to put it, but Team 12 crumbled. They fell apart. I mean, it was like mistake after mistake, and it wasn't until I think mid-game that started to happen, but it was 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. It's like, all right, we got to calm down. And they could never regain control. It just kept slipping out of their hand. But you could also say that Gale Force was the one that put that pressure on to kind of change that up. Team 12, this go around, not willing to give up that Maiev. We have our usual Maiev Medivh. Still get our first pick Garrosh.
A little bit, higher priority there for Team 12 rather than the Genji, but I definitely feel like I prefer that here from them over that Genji opportunity. It's not as accenting towards the map, and also much like the last game we were talking about, oh, this is one of Garrosh's best maps, so maybe not as high value. I don't want to say Tomb is a great map for him, but he definitely has a lot more kill potential opportunities. It's hard. When you say he's good at the map, do you go because the distance to safety is so long he has better kill potential, or in fact it's a little bit worse because of, sorry, I got distracted by my Easter egg Diablo here. He found more eggs than I did.
I expect Hanzo here. Crowing on Hanzo on Tomb of the Spider Queen has some of the most aggressive positionings, and we talk about the disrupting rotations. Crowing will sit on that turn-in point between mid and top lane because he knows he can use that natural agility to get over that. They go directly into that. This might also be another Tassadar game. If I'm on the side of HeroesHearth, I need to take a look at my second bans. This is a Tassadar map, this is a Diablo map, and if you want to run them both together, it works perfectly with what HeroesHearth likes to do. I can definitely see HeroesHearth going down that route. And obviously we got 2 picks before we get to the next ban phase, but I'm just thinking ahead of things that we know HeroesHearth to do and excel at.
I feel like you said the words, Team 12 needs to look at their second ban in this game. And looking at all the drafts so far in this series, their second ban has been missed. I feel like every single time. It fails to pack a punch in a lot of the cases. I mean,
Johanna, Dahaka,
yeah.
Junkrat.
They're all macro-oriented heroes, all that are tier 3 for the most part within their realm, other than maybe Junkrat. And again, that's a map and a place. It's a bit hard to make that argument, but I agree with you. When you said that, I was like, you know what? I think it's more than this game. I think every second ban, I felt that way about them from Team 12. So we'll see if that mixes up here. We did get ourselves the Stukov Jaina. Higher Jaina than we normally get, but I can't hate it here. Yeah, a lot of wave clear, a lot of kills.
The Jaina was the one yesterday, 4 out of the first 5 games, 1-1-1-1-1, and that was on this battleground that Gale Force used that as a comeback. This is one of the easier ones to complete that Globe talent at level 1, which seems to be the go-to. Has really good wave clear, so if you do get behind, you can also lead in rotation, have that follow-up kill potential if Garrosh can get somebody tossed over. That kind of now even tells me more that maybe we get something with the mobility. Whether that be the Diablo, in case you get flipped over, you charge back in. The Tassadar, in case you get caught out, you dimensional shift out. Have those availability. And I also wonder, does Sonya make an appearance in this draft?
During that inspiring monologue, I had something to rebuttal with, and I forgot it. And it makes me really sad because I had a really good point to add to that. And it had something to do with HeroesHearth in this next ban rotation, or a forced ban on the side of Team 12.
If I say it in reverse, can we get back to that moment?
Yeah, if you go back to it, we might be able to do so.
Now that the Tychus is there, that definitely screams to me Diablo. And if you're Team 12, I think the Diablo would be more of a guarantee as opposed to a Tassadar. But again, I feel that HeroesHearth might go down that. They might also just go Junkrat again, right?
Yeah.
But what I've seen from HeroesHearth, what I know from HeroesHearth, we'll see. Malthael being hovered.
Malthael ban, if it does go through, not as kind of, what I'm going to say is off. Oh, I think I remember my point. This is one of the moments where I wouldn't mind if we did end up seeing them commit to a Junkrat or a Johanna ban, actually, which we've already seen from them versus the Malthael. You know, the reason why is just mainly because you have the Garrosh, the threat of the 4-man. It synergizes pretty well with Hanzo. You're already going to suffer colossally within, you know, kind of the front end of the map, and when it comes to the control over the minion waves too. And so I feel you're all about kill potential. So then to Johanna removing that and not letting that macro kind of get out of hand seems like it would have been the thought process. This is a bold move or a bold draft, but we've landed in circumstances where I actually prefer Johanna over Tyrael, like from beginning to end.
Is that just this map because it's Tomb?
This map and Stukov, Jaina, Garrosh, you're not going to move up on anything. You're just going to, you have Hanzo, you have the synergy, you got Root, you got everything necessary. It actually outweighs the Tyrael.
See what they decide. Still a handful of seconds left before they need to lock these in. Again, the Arthalon pick always kind of be that one that can really shake up things in terms of the draft. Will it be the Tassadar? Will it be something else? Asmodean. There we go. Nailed it.
There's a Blaze. There's the Johanna. I really like that Johanna pick. Man, that's going to be really, really powerful. I thought for sure I would Team 12 with ban it, honestly. Again, I feel like that was a bit off. I personally, I sit in a moment where I don't feel like North America is getting as much out of, not just Team 12, a lot of teams out of North America are not getting as much out of their second ban, and a lot of it has to do with too high a value on Malthael, I would say, in my opinion, or at least too much respect towards the impact that he can have on a lot of situations. Or maybe it's too low on the Blaze. Something in that offlane priority is a little bit off.
Well, I can tell you one thing, that Malthael is the most banned hero in that second slot in North America by far. 21% of the time he's banned out next highest.
I think we did not set that up. That was just me throwing out a feel and Jay Howe actually having a supporting stat and let me go beep boop boop. You're the greatest calculator I know. 2 seconds left. What do we got here, Team 12? Junkrat Leo. Old synergy. Jaina's got enough burst. You can move with the Junkrat. A lot of control.
The Entomb into the Lurking Arm. Maybe get a little bit of follow-up damage there. Get a Taunt. Get a Ring of Frost. Maybe just get the Water Elemental and get some follow-up abilities in there. Now with Heroes Hearth, where does this second hero come in? You've got some wave clear, but it's not significant wave clear. And I feel that this hero, now that Junkrat's been taken away from them, I would have said that if it wasn't Tassadar, maybe they go Junkrat. But with Arthalon, we'll see.
It's a backliner that can survive on its own, but has enough wave clear and follow up to the Johanna. What is that? Nazebo?
Ooh, this is one of the. I don't think Nazebo's been played yet either. They'll probably get it real crazy.
If we're getting wild, I think it's Nazebo. But if we aren't getting wild and we're going standard, Greymane feels weird, a little bit weird here. It's going to be. Oh yeah, I forgot we were talking about the Tassadar trade-off.
We're talking about things to go beyond.
Yeah. My only thing with the Tassadar, and only qualm with it, is just you've got a Blaze Johanna frontline with a solo Hanzo, and normally you'd be like solo Hanzo. It really isn't that big of a trade-off, but neither one of the frontliners has, at least the Johanna does not have enough damage. Blaze does have enough damage on his own for me to not be that concerned, but normally if you're going to commit to a weak offlaner, then both of your frontliners have to, or not offlaner, but backliner, both of your frontliners have to do damage. Jojo doesn't do that. I do think this is a moment where I look at the other side's Team 12's draft and their win conditions and their skirmishing, they're going to lose macro. They aren't going to find anybody to get those kills on, and that's going to allow them to get snowballed again. So I go, I'm still on the Tassadar pick, but I just go, ooh, you know, looking at that comp, that would be immediate. The first thing I say is like, where are you going to get your damage?
I really think it because the Junkrat was taken away on the other side. I really do. I think that Junkrat would have fit the role that you were talking about, and that was taken away. I think the only time you really kind of see that Tassadar value, Archon, maybe Psionic Echo at 16, but that's still not really going to, oh, we're killing somebody.
We're going to get into this game, but on that same note, with the Junkrat ban, the one thing that I find curious is I feel like the Junkrat pick, right? The only reason the Junkrat pick came in is because the Tychus ban on the side of Heroes Hearth that pushed them past that.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Because you would have expected Tychus.
Yeah, and you're like, so wait a minute. Heroes Hearth essentially forced a ban that was only banned because of their ban, and then they would have wanted it possibly later. Again.
There's your favorite hero. Spray going down, Lili.
The boy, BBJ.
Sipping that tea.
He is the original Lili in my heart. You remember when we first got that busted out, I told you that I have one competitive Lili game to date, like ever.
Yeah, how'd that go, Druid?
I was actually healing Arthalon and Asmodean, and it worked pretty good. It's just
so you have a 100% win rate in your career with Lili.
Lili
nailed it.
And I have a 100% win rate, yeah.
Well, we end up getting the redemption again here. Obviously complementing, pairing well with Hanzo there. Oh, Asan renewal for Leo. Yeah, I'm sitting there like, are you looking at what I'm looking?
I was just going to be like, Goku doesn't expect to exist long in this game.
He played the Leo yesterday, man, and in late game, there were some questionable decisions.
Yeah, there were.
To say the least.
There very much were. Yeah, so the adjustment at the level 1, have the opportunity to heal for 30% of your maximum HP. All the globes as well, when you're sitting in the ghost form, help you kind of come back to life. They can be used to really help with that ghost form. That's why I said he doesn't expect to be live long. It's really funny. You take a healing talent, and immediately I'm like, oh yeah, you're probably going to be dead a lot.
We'll see how effective that is as we get through the game. You know, that was a scary moment. I said before, when Crowan's on Hanzo on this battleground, that turn-in point there at the top, he will hover between there quite a bit. The one thing I do caution against this, because Stukov is now there, he almost got blown up, and that is a very real threat. If he gets put in that position again and a lurking arm goes down, this is one of the rare heroes you can do it on because of the lurking, or excuse me, because of the natural agility. But just like that, the Junkrat trap and things like that, you got to be super cautious.
One thing, too, that Team 12 might be able to use is this, Night Camp on mid. There's no wave clear for Crowan's build until he hits 4 at all. So it's actually a really value moment if they want to siege up, group it together, even abusing the wave clear out of Goku. BBJ getting body blocked to death. Meets a skeletal swing that maybe didn't expect. Johanna goes for the condemn, locking down 3. There's, the 4 talents here. The Stormbolt clear is not going to be available for Crowan. Let's see what Team 12 can make happen on this front wall.
Crowan hanging out, knowing he has that natural agility, waits for that Ice Lance to come out there from Dansky there on Jaina. Dodges that, but just like that, I mean, how do they step forward in this? Ishbu gets tossed right back. That's an entire tower down and maybe a second. I mean, that is, you cannot ask for much more value. I mean, that's one poke away. For 2 minutes in on that Camp Dread, that is mad value. And I say that in the long term in that when you do obtain
the turn-in, it's going to be a major problem. Arthlon, though, did get flipped over. Dimensional Shift available. That's why we were talking about the safe Tassadar pick. Bud's going to get slowed by that punish. But with only BBJ and Tassadar, double support's not necessarily the best follow-up to a Johanna. Also kind of raising, bringing to light my qualms with the Johanna, the Tassadar. Again, it's one of the cases where I do feel like they might be okay, but it is going to be something that we have to keep track of. Flip onto Ishbu. Iron Skin available. A lot of damage there going on to Justin. Last auto from Crowan gets the kill and first blood of this game. He hasn't even dropped the Iron Skin yet.
Crowan the entire time poking. I think Justin expected a little bit longer, but Crowan, he is very aggressive on this hero, on this battleground, and it is working out well for them. Looks like HeroesHearth, they're in position to get the first turn in. You can see 7 there between those members. Crowan sitting on another 8. Still need another 9 to turn in total.
Here throws on the trap. Gonna eat damage there from that Stormbow on the minions. Flip over onto Blaze. Silence after that lurking arm.
I like the pickup of the increased root area for this one, for those moments there, because you know that when you get into these chokes, they're going to be collapsing on a hero. It buys precious space. That real estate on the map is so valuable on Tomb of the Spider Queen for a lot of these, and the Blizzard's going to be one of those areas where you kind of get choked in on and try and get that set up. So I like the pickup a lot there from BBJ.
I personally just like the talent. I feel like almost in general, it's very few circumstances do I look at anything else and I'm like, I want something else.
The Vengeful Roots,
I'm not a broccoli man. Nope,
yeah.
Not even once.
I remember Wolf is a broccoli man.
Is he? I mean,
I still remember at BlizzCon he had a special request. He literally asked for raw broccoli.
He did it at Easter class too, man.
Yeah, he did it at Easter. It all started because Grubby asked for avocados, and Wolf's like, well, can I get some broccoli? And we're like, what? And he was actually serious.
Well, broccoli is going to be served to the plate of Team 12 as BBJ flipped over. Nice pick off there.
If BBJ, one of those B's stood for broccoli, what does the other B stand for?
Baby Broccoli Jr.
I like it. I like it. Turn in here. Gonna be happening for Team 12. Dread, this is the dreaded moment. Right now, Arthlon, let's see if he gets caught here.
Slow goes out. Ishbu gonna rebuttal. Indomitable use there, making sure Justin makes it out fine. Buds.
I want everybody to keep their eye on the experience bars right now because it looks fairly even. Because this middle tower will fall very quickly, if Team 12 makes the rotation up, takes the top wall off the top fort, and you see Leo already at the bottom, you will see that spike up drastically towards 10. And then that's Team 12's opportunity to move in to take a fort with that 10 threat.
Yeah, let's see what they do here. Top seems to be the focus. Ishbu, man on an island, condemned to get the mobility. Iron Skin used. He makes it out. Very well done here for HeroesHearth not to fall behind, and that's going to make this top push not that valuable. Leo, though, still making bottom look good for a little bit longer.
That slow rotation top, Dread,
so, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the slow rotation to the top half and then no rotation to the bottom half after it was too slow, 14-12, means that they got, I mean, that Webweaver phase was very not profitable.
That would have been a perfect learning tool right there. Had Team 12 literally just gone top lane. That mid wall was already down. That is major value that they're missing. Had those 2 towers gone down in that top lane, that is a 10 right now for Team 12. Instead, neither of them go down.
And then that 10 leads to that 4, then 10 leads to 10.5, and then you suddenly go, we have a 2-level lead.
Missed opportunity.
It was
I feel bad for bringing it up and it not happening.
You know what? How dare you suggest, you know, wow, BBJ has been caught so many times here by Justing. This one, not totally, you know, a total catch as Crowan.
Bringing 10 was right there, too.
Yeah.
Had that been a few seconds later, that taunt, that's one dead BBJ.
Heroics need to be picked up here still for HeroesHearth. So because that turn-in didn't gain as much as, you know, maybe it could have, man, another catch on the R. Tass is going to dimensional shift. Ishbu actually was the only person caught up by the taunt. This is a very staggered initiation by Team 12, but they get the one-shot there as the Heroics just now picked up for HeroesHearth. Ishbu, Blessed Shield.
I don't think he's going to get the safety. Bunker's there. He can get out on the right side, use it as a body block. The concussion mine, the Groundbreaker, I think, clipped him despite he was there. Iron Skin as well as the Tassadar shield. Ishbu makes it out. Wow.
The Johanna, you know, that just never gave up. Right there, over that, the entire team really of HeroesHearth, I guess, didn't give up. That was just insane. And then they don't lose any gems either.
Team 12 has another turn-in, though.
They do have another turn-in, but, I mean, at this point, are you that afraid?
This is one of those moments where you actually pause and think, do we want to pick up this Webweaver phase? Because now you have Knights pushing mid. And that thwarts out a lot.
It really does.
Tassadar, 816 stacks. Once he gets to 1,000, he'll have that extra damage. Then his wave clear becomes very noticeable.
Pressure towards the bottom half. On to Leo. Going to Wraith walk out. Might not make it out.
Crowan.
Good job here from HeroesHearth on that chase down, that track down. That was a long kill. I mean, when you catch a Leo out like that, I mean, you're expecting that's a max distant Wraith walk, which is the entirety of your screen. And they still end up getting the track down. A lot of coordination there, and we get first Webweaver phase here for HeroesHearth.
Yeah, big time plays as they're starting to turn this around. Experience slightly in favor of Team 12, but it's about to be made up for in significant fashion. If Team 12 gives up too much and HeroesHearth can obtain a lot, Dread, they might be able to look at that back-to-back turn-in because, as the point you made a minute ago, they didn't give up anything when they dropped there. So it's a big opportunity for them to get a lot of value here, hit 13, and maybe back-to-back turn and start to open this map up.
And if they open the map up with how much siege capabilities they have as a composition compared to that of Team 12, I mean, I guess Team 12 does have a good enough siege that it shouldn't be too big of an advantage one way or another. We'll see what they make happen. Kira doing his best to make it rain on that middle Webweaver with those grenades.
Oh, I did not see it earlier, but Johanna actually completed her Subdue quest at level 7. That's a very rare one because you have to... Hold on, the Riptire is actually going to go down. You have to hit 4 people, and that's very rare. Now Punish always slows by 80% every time he uses that, and the slow no longer decays. That's why I was like, man, Garrosh is walking awfully slow there. We've got to turn around fight, Dread.
What you see being used right there on the Buds forces out that massive shove. Goku in the 1v1 here with McIntyre.
That is a big-time play for the rest of the game, especially because Carlin went those sharpened arrowheads. Justin on the front line being slowed again. He is the main target. Justin trying to walk away from this. There's the Blizzard in return. Ishbu's going to walk away. Archon popped, though. Archon
going to be popped. Arthon finds himself Cure. Cure has to concussion mine away. He didn't have it up, obviously, as he's going to go down.
Just ate all of the mayhem.
Yeah, but nice route from BBJ. He's going to set up the gap closer there for McIntyre. Not going to fully all in yet. Do they back out and look for the turn-in? Still 18 seconds without the Junkrat.
Goku's up here. That punish slow, finishing that subdue is going to have such a major impact for the rest of the game. Look at Goku. He's just getting assaulted there as Kroan continuing to look for shots, hitting. Goku going down further and further. The oil getting the slow there. Oh my!
Scattering arrow, he does the math.
I mean, every single one just clipped him. I didn't even see it blink off that. I just know that it hit, right? Oh my.
It's one of those when you play racquetball and it gets close to the wall or the floor, you got to purely do it off audio cues. You know, it does a squeak versus the floor. The wooden floor, it squeaks versus the wall. It's a hollow noise. That's all you got right there. You just got the hollow noise. You're like, I know it hit first. Hit the wall, got the scattering, and nothing past that. Everything making it count here for.
I really wonder how many people in chat got that before I did. I actually needed the explanation on that, and I wonder if there's a few people, somebody that needs an explanation is going to be Junkrat of like, guys, how am I dead here? Because now this back-to-back turn-in dread is leading to major structure damage as well as a 2-level lead and then some at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be the 16 spike here as this top web weaver still alive. Same with bottom, but Leo's doing his best to deal with that. The 16 will go after this front wall. So if they can get the entirety of it, they commit to this turret. They're being a little bit more passive than I'd like them to be as there's 3 seconds out from the Junkrat, so they're not going to commit. Instead, playing a bit more passive here for HeroesHearth, but a huge window of opportunity with these 16s. They can zone off, get a lot of threat.
They're 7 gems away from another turn-in. I mean, they could potentially just snowball this entirely out of Team 12's hands. 16's almost here. There's not a lot that Team 12 can do. The Entomb misses on the backside. Justin going in, trying to be the big playmaker, but he's coming in very low health.
Yeah, and he's going to be dropping very fast there. And a lot of damage. He keeps himself alive with one more heal. Ishbu ends up hitting the 3-man condemn to get the follow-up damage there after that jet propulsion. 2 members dead on Team 12. Arthalon with that Archon getting the damage out. Uses the dimensional shift to dodge the Blizzard. Wraithwalk keeps Goku up here. HeroesHearth have enough for that Web Weaver phase, maybe even a boss Web Weaver phase.
They're looking to rotate up there.
It's too slow. If you're going to clear this, then you've already shown that you're going to do it. So you need to immediately start the boss, then back towards the turn-in. Not going to be an option now.
I think looks like Blaze might be going back for his Knights. Unable to activate that, actually. He's like, guys, hello? I don't know if that was intentional or not. Obviously, the Blaze positioning that I saw on the minimap kind of made me think that because there's no other place for Blaze to go. That bottom lane is so far pushed out. He literally ran back to the Knight. So, you know, maybe a missed opportunity. Either way, the opportunity's still very much in their favor with 16 and another Web Weaver.
Yeah, actually, this is...
Oh, this is actually blue Web Weavers.
That's
that's why. My bad. My bad.
And so what I wanted to say is like the fact that, you know, that bottom Web Weaver that when it went over to Team 12, but it's not going to gain anything, right? It's going to be a free clear here for HeroesHearth. So something they've got to be at least comfortable with here. This idea that it's going to be a free clear between the two. Bottom's the only one to gain value, and at most is going to keep front wall bot.
Psionic Echo now here for Arthalon, who completed that Psystorm quest long ago, Dread. That contributes so much to the wave clear here. Justin, he's the anchor, but he is going to be sniffed out by the Sonic Arrow. Justin gets the throw back. That armor that just gets reduced. Justin's health bar just keeps getting annihilated.
Buds missed the massive shove too, so now pale for Dansky as he gets pulled in by that condemn, throw down the punish, and immediately one-shot. BBJ looking for the root. Blood's going to get slowed down by McIntyre. Jet propulsion just out of range. Arthalon tossed back, going to get the slow. Groundbreaker there. Justin trying to make it out, but there's the pull. There is the punish. Root. Good night, Garrosh.
That level 1, or that level 7 talent that was finished. I mean, I'm pretty sure Garrosh wouldn't have made it out of there from a traditional punish.
This is actually a really good play.
Yeah, because even if he dies, it looks like HeroesHearth, they're going to commit directly to a boss. And I think that if they go boss, they're going to go boss turn in and try and end the game with it. And that's why they're willing to concede this. Not that they had much of a choice at that point.
Yeah, but it's not something they should be able to get away for free with. They have the Junkrat to be able to poke and kind of scout over the wall. Nobody moved and made that rotation within time. Maybe not expecting HeroesHearth to get on it as fast as they were. Keep in mind, this is not Scato Arrow Hanzo, right? It's not the one-shot the boss.
Takes a little bit longer, but short enough time frame. Arthalon just kind of chilling here with Goku. BBJ and team just coming down, sniffing things out. You can see Psionic Echo going down. Not only does it do damage, but it provides vision. Cure taking damage.
Ishbu, bit of miscommunication there with the rest of the team. Definitely thought he had more members behind him. The rest of HeroesHearth a bit more distracted over that turn-in.
Dread, the fact that they've now staggered this boss is pretty much going to be cleared for free.
Yeah, that was a huge play there to get that Saul.
And the fact that they gave up that at the bottom, they now 100%, it's no longer going to be as much of a possibility for game, but they 100% have to get a keep in this top lane. That bottom lane is so pushed out and catapults against it, that bottom lane is nothing. The mid lane's going to take a long time to push, and this top lane is where all the focus has to be.
Well, he goes down. Gets the slow onto Ishbu. Ice Lance is thrown out. Dansky wondering if he can move up. Boss has been cleared. Web Weaver now descending behind. Goku, Wraithwalk, not yet. Is he going to look for that Entomb?
Yeah, just came off cooldown. Now, this keep all but gone. But can Heroes Hearth close out this series right now? They're already backing. They're going to make their rotation over mid, see if they can get some mid keep wall damage. That could also potentially get them close to 20, but getting another turn in beyond that, they're sitting on 30-ish gems right now. They are a long way from a turn in. They'll have the 20-tier advantage. See what happens.
Jusing moves for the Groundbreaker, gonna get punished. Indomitable keeping him out of there, but the Blessed Shield is enough to track down there with Crowan, and they end up getting the kill. Now, no front line here for Team 12, and they're gonna round the 20 talent tiers if they get this keep. Dragon Arrow goes in, locks down 2. Arthalon there with the dimensional shift into the immediate Archon. He takes a lot of damage, but there is always a second, and this looks like this is the series.
Crowan said, who needs level 20? That right there, play of the game. Hitting that, knowing the Riptire was coming out the zone, try and clear that. Crowan hit the massive Dragon's Arrow. Blaze followed up on that. The ultimate team work here for Heroes Hearth. This is what they do. And right now they have the core going down 60% and falling. Leo not going to be enough here. The Gale Force sprays continue to go down. But the play from Crowan to take care of Justin, but Ishbu completing that level 7 and going into that had so much control over that front line.
Heroes Hearth Esports, with this win, mix up the middle of the pack of North America to, you know, I don't even want to begin to try and decipher kind of the jumbling that has happened towards our ranks here, but the one thing that is for sure is that Heroes Hearth is a team to be feared in North America, and they're on a tear right now. So, you know, somebody's got to
7 of their last 8 series they've won. 7 of their last 8. I mean, a tear. It couldn't get much better outside of that one Gale Force series.
It just was ridiculous, and it all happens with that synergy, with the teamwork there. You know, that kind of all-around Crowan strategy, which we're actually going to bring to light here as we do, in fact, have the replay over that last skirmish. You were talking about that Dragon's Arrow with the Riptire.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is the Justin right here just continued to get destroyed. I mean, that was kind of the thing. Press that button. But the big thing is, the whole thing that you're going to see, if we actually pause right now, the whole thing is Cure. That's the main thing. He intentionally moved back beyond there, but it was the Dragon's Arrow that came in and allowed everybody to go up. The minute that Riptire sound came out, that was the audible cue. You talked about the audible cue for Racquetball. That Riptire cue was, look, we know that there's going to be a stationary target, and that's going to be the Junkrat. You can't hide back there. And so that recognition, and the thing about it is, it's the snap recognition. It's not just like, oh, we got to do something about that. It was like, we're doing something about it instantly. And I think that's kind of the main thing that we see from Heroes Hearth is the recognition, the ability to follow up, and then not only do it with one person, but literally a full collapse to just, we're taking this game. Like, yeah. That's it. Thank you for giving it to us. We will now take this. See you next time.
I think the prettiest thing for me when looking at that is I'm not taking away from Crowan. Dragon's Arrow, it's pretty. You know, technically was in fog. Pretty predictable place for the Riptire, normally behind the keep, you know. It's mainly just the fact that the minute that even becomes is this close to hitting arrow, dimensional shifts hit. Arthalon's in. He's like, all right, we're diving the back line. Jet propulsion going in, that makes sense, right? Blaze with that, but that shows how much of this, we already know what's going to happen, right? That shows the thought process and decision-making comms-wise. Shot caller there from Ishbu in the front line. What he's got to be saying at that point in time is literally, yeah, when they Riptire, all in. And it's just going to be we're going to get the dive, get the all in. And the minute you hear that thing go up, it's just, Arthalon just goes, thank you. You know, we've got that. And it's that kind of prep for that play with that looking in towards the future. This kind of stuff, I mean, Heroes Hearth shows signs of, you know, I don't want to say the next generation Tempo Storm, but they're looking like it. They're showing bits and pieces.
In my mind, I'm thinking Tempo Storm. Kind of the earlier play that we saw earlier, the Dragon Arrow, the APOC. The APOC was popped before that Dragon Arrow even hit. The trust, the communication to make moments like that happen. It's very rare, I think, that we see, but it does come from our upper echelon teams, and Heroes Hearth is starting to put themselves in that upper tier. They move ahead of Team 12 here. I think, obviously we got to look at win-loss, record, but I'm kind of wondering where they sit after this weekend against somebody like Team Freedom. Did Heroes Hearth in one weekend find themselves up at the top, like second now?
It's pretty close, yeah.
That obviously, I'll let somebody else take care of those numbers, but that is something that is very visible that you can see, not just in numbers, but in play from a team like Heroes Hearth.
Yeah, I would still provide criticism towards BBJ. I think that there are still moments where you can kind of see did that need to happen or kind of go down. But other than that, I feel like the roster for the most part very strong as a unit. The biggest thing for me is still, how far does it go? With these strategies, how many of them are they that effective with? Hanzo still sits at the top of the meta, internationally, at least speaking, and Crowan still gets his Hanzo probably more often than I feel like most teams should let him end up having that. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that make me go. The one thing I do know, I feel like I don't give enough praise towards for Heroes Hearth is they're pretty wicked smart when it comes to some of the drafting moves that they're making. I feel like they put quite a bit of thought into a lot of the drafts kind of unfolding beforehand, and today was a pretty good, I think, showcase of that, right? Where they made clear, bold risk moves in certain areas. Some, hey, we're going to kind of call out Team 12, see if they end up crumbling, and more often than not, I feel like in the draft they did.
I think so. I 100% agree with you. Again, the communication, the combinations that this team has, it's impressive to watch. I'm so excited to see where this future lies. Obviously, showing up, they performed admirably at Western Clash, but I think the main focus, again, in terms of their draft and the changes that they made, first weekend right out the gates, they went 0-4 or 0-3 or something like that, or 1-something, whatever, but McIntyre fed like crazy on the Orc. I don't think he's touched him since. We've seen a lot of Malthael play starting to shift away slowly, except for in situations. That frontline control allowing Arthlon and Crowan to do so much work. This team together, draft-wise, on their own side and on the other side, are finding ways to make this work. It's super, super impressive right now.
And the one thing that I really enjoy as well, that I feel like, at least in my mind, when I kind of look back towards older play from Arthlon overall and the kind of squad and the impact that he's having there with Crowan, has been the moving over towards the Tassadar, right, when it's necessary, and still totally being fine moving into that direction. It feels like a lot of players, not only Arth in his past, but then a lot of NA players sit there and go, like, I'm the playmaker whenever I need to move over to that. Like, there's not enough kind of like, yeah, go for it. I'm going to be the one enabling you and setting you up. And I feel like, number one, I would say that's because the Tassadar role is really undervalued. And then number two is everybody wants to be the carry and make the plays happen here. So it's going to be interesting as we're still waiting to get Arthlon on the line. Still getting things figured out a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen. Arthlon, we got you with us here, man?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, he is here. How's it going, Arth?
Oh, it's going great. Really happy with our team. Week one of the HGC, you could tell that we have nerves and that we're kind of new as a team to the competitive experience. But I think given the past couple months, we've really improved. We're really looking solid, and what turned out to be nerves is now we're crisp and streamlined, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, can you give any kind of specifics or more insight into what are those changes are to be able to see that kind of success? Because right now your guys' development and growth, I feel like, is absolutely unrivaled compared towards the rest of North America. What's the secret sauce?
I think it comes down to our attitude. When we formed, it's been like 9 months already since we formed. We knew we're not going to be the best. We have work to do, and I think everyone had that attitude. So that's the biggest thing. Calvin Luck, our coach, has been helping tons. He had, tons of inside knowledge from him. He really helps us in drafts. And, I think that's about it.
And after today's games, now getting this debatable upset, I'm not going to title it an upset anymore, but after everything kind of going in, looking towards the future of Heroes Hearth, do you feel like you guys have a ceiling? If so, where do you feel like that falls, or do you feel like you guys are just building the best in North America right now?
Well, we were bad, but then I got my hour in, so now we're kicking butt.
Yeah, you got just 1 hour, and then it's all good. All right, thank you very much, Arth. I'm going to send you over to Jay.
Why now? All right. Arthlon, you are one of the most entertaining players, I think, in-game that we have, maybe not just in North America, but the world. We oftentimes get a lot of respect from other teams when they talk about where you lie in terms of this, and a lot of respect from your teammates as well in terms of your hero pool and things like that. Obviously, you've spent a little bit of time off. You come back here, and you have the largest hero pool. Where does the confidence come from to be able to play whatever and whenever this team needs it?
I think when it comes to that, it's just I have tons of experience playing not only this game but other MOBAs and just other games. I've been playing HOTS since it basically came out, which was like 3 years ago. So, when a new character comes out, I just kind of spam it, and then I kind of know it, and if we need it, it's there. And I think that's what it comes down to.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little bit disappointed. I've got Rexar sitting at 0-2. Can you make Rexar work?
We tried. It's over.
It's over?
Our Rexar. It's over. We've had our fun, I guess.
So you're secretly just trying to tell other teams that you're not going to play it, but you're secretly going to play it, right?
Well, I was telling my team, it's like we keep banning Braxis. I'm just like, we can just go to Braxis and pick Rexar. It'd be fun, right? But then we lost, so I had to eat my words there.
Well, take me through that game in particular, because you guys went supportless with an Abathur. How does that evolve? Obviously, Rexar, we know, can do well in the solo lane, but how do those drafts evolve? You talked about Cawthon being there. You guys obviously are a very creative team, but what kind of evolves during the scrims to where you're like, hey, I think this is a thing that can work? Where does that kind of come from to have confidence to run a draft like that?
Well, BBJ was itching to play Lily, and we let him play that. So he had to look for something even more bizarre, which was solo Abathur. And it's something we've kind of been messing around with, and it actually worked on like some maps. So it's just something we came up with and whipped it out. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Well, it's entertaining nonetheless, and congratulations on you guys' victory and your continued rise here in North America.
And again, because of the results here, Arthlon, today, I feel like it's kind of hard to argue it's an upset at this point, because I feel like you guys kind of sit in this weird limbo. It's like, how good is HeroesHearth Esports? But going up against Team Freedom is where we have you guys towards next weekend. Are you guys feeling pretty confident? Or maybe, I feel like you've got to be after this momentum.
We're definitely feeling great. We have a week to prepare for Team Freedom. That's what we're going to do. Going to come out strong and hopefully be a good set.
2 hours of practice this time, or are we still sticking to one?
Only one. Come on.
All right. No, yeah, you don't want to try too hard, man. I get it. I understand. Floor is yours, Arthlon. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Shout-outs to my wonderful team. Bunch of great guys. I'm really proud of us so far. Shout-out to our coach, Cawthon Luck, and, of course, our org, HeroesHearth.com. Great guides, cool blogs you can check out there. Happy Easter to everybody. And, I love playing Dota. Oh, wait. April Fools. Yeah, I'll see you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Arthlon. Congratulations once again.
Oh
man.
Is there